The stars twinkled in the night sky, while the wind howled through the ancient trees. It was the kind of night that sent shivers down your spine, where the darkness seemed to hold secrets, and the silence whispered eerie tales. I received an anonymous message one evening, a cryptic invitation to spend a night at an abandoned hotel. The sender claimed it was an experience like no other, promising thrills and chills beyond imagination. Intrigued by the mystery and fueled by a thirst for adventure, I gathered a group of friends and set out into the night. The location was remote, hidden deep within the woods, away from prying eyes and curious minds. As we approached the hotel, a chill ran down my spine. The building stood tall and imposing, its windows boarded up and its walls covered in ivy. It was a relic of a forgotten time, a place lost to the ravages of time. We hesitated at the entrance, the air thick with anticipation and fear. But the lure of the unknown proved too strong, and one by one we stepped inside, crossing the threshold into darkness. The interior was like something out of a nightmare. The walls were lined with peeling wallpaper, the floors creaked beneath our feet, and the air was heavy with the scent of decay. It was as if the hotel itself was alive, breathing in the memories of its past inhabitants. We explored the empty corridors, our footsteps echoing in the silence. Each room we entered told a story, a tale of despair and desperation. It was as if the very walls held the memories of past horrors, whispering secrets that refused to be forgotten. As the night wore on, strange things began to happen. Shadows danced in the corners of our vision, whispers echoed through the halls, and the temperature seemed to drop with each passing moment. It was as if the hotel itself was alive, feeding off our fear and uncertainty. Panic began to set in as we realized the truth. We were not alone in the hotel. Something sinister lurked in the shadows, something ancient and hungry, and it was closing in on us with each passing moment. Desperate to escape, we raced through the corridors, our hearts pounding in our chests. But the hotel seemed to have a mind of its own, its layout shifting and changing with each turn we took. It was as if we were trapped in a labyrinth of nightmares with no way out. And then, just when all hope seemed lost, we stumbled upon a door unlike any other. It stood at the end of a long dark hallway, its surface smooth and unblemished. It was the only way out, our only chance of escape. With trembling hands, we pushed open the door and stepped out into the moonlit garden beyond. The air was cool and crisp, the stars shining brightly overhead. It was as if we had stepped out of hell and into paradise. But as we looked back at the hotel, we knew that our ordeal was far from over. The derelict building loomed in the distance, its windows glowing with an otherworldly light. It was a reminder of the horrors we had endured, a warning to all who dared to enter. And as we made our way back to civilization, we knew that the memories of that night would haunt us forever. For we had witnessed things that defied explanation, experienced terrors beyond imagination. We had checked into terror, and we were lucky to have checked out alive. The moonlit garden showcased the beauty of forgotten flowers that bloomed in the quiet darkness. But beneath their delicate petals lay a darkness that refused to be forgotten, a darkness that lurked within the walls of the derelict hotel. And as we walked away, we couldn't help but wonder what other secrets lay hidden within its crumbling facade. It was days after our harrowing experience at the Derelict Hotel, but the memories lingered like a stubborn stain. Sleep eluded me, plagued by nightmares of twisting corridors and whispered voices. Each time I closed my eyes, I found myself back in that forsaken place, trapped in a never-ending cycle of fear and desperation. My friends were similarly affected, their once lively spirits dampened by the weight of what we had witnessed. We tried to go about our lives as usual, but the shadow of the hotel loomed over us like a dark cloud, tainting everything it touched. I couldn't shake the feeling that we had awoken something ancient and malevolent that night, something that should have remained buried in the depths of the earth. It was as if we had disturbed a slumbering beast, and now it hungered for vengeance. I spent hours poring over every detail of that night, searching for answers to questions that seemed impossible to answer. Who had sent the invitation? What was their motive? And most importantly, what was the true nature of the hotel itself? The more I searched, the more elusive the answers became. It was as if the hotel was a puzzle with no solution, a mystery wrapped in layers of deceit and deception. But I refused to give up, determined to uncover the truth no matter the cost. And then, just when I thought all hope was lost, I received another message. It was from the same anonymous sender, inviting me to return to the hotel once more. This time, they promised, all would be revealed. I hesitated, torn between my desire for answers and my fear of what awaited me within those haunted halls. But in the end, curiosity won out, and I found myself once again standing at the entrance to the Derelict Hotel, my heart pounding in my chest. This time, however, I was not alone. My friends stood by my side, their faces pale but determined. We had faced the horrors of the hotel once before, and we were prepared to do so again, no matter the cost. As we stepped inside, the air seemed to grow heavy with anticipation. The hotel was unchanged, its corridors just as dark and forbidding as we remembered. But this time, there was something different in the air, a sense of inevitability that hung over us like a shroud. We moved through the hotel with caution, our senses on high alert for any sign of danger. But despite our best efforts, we could not shake the feeling that we were being watched, that unseen eyes followed our every move with malicious intent. And then, just as before, strange things began to happen. Shadows danced in the corners of our vision, whispers echoed through the halls, and the temperature dropped until our breath hung in the air like mist. It was then that we realized the true nature of the hotel. It was not just a building, but a living, breathing entity, a manifestation of all the pain and suffering that had occurred within its walls. And it hungered for more. Panic set in as we realized the danger we were in. But there was nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. We were trapped in a nightmare of our own making, doomed to suffer for eternity in the clutches of the Derelict Hotel. But just when all hope seemed lost, we stumbled upon a door unlike any other. It stood at the end of a long, dark hallway, its surface smooth and unblemished. It was our only chance of escape, our only hope of breaking free from the hotel's grasp. With trembling hands, we pushed open the door and stepped out into the moonlit garden beyond. The air was cool and crisp, the stars shining brightly overhead. It was as if we had been reborn, given a second chance at life. As we walked away from the Derelict Hotel, we knew that we would never truly be free of its grasp. The memories of that night would haunt us forever, a reminder of the darkness that lurked just beneath the surface of our world. But as we looked back at the hotel one last time, we knew that we had emerged victorious. We had faced our fears and triumphed over the forces of darkness. And as we walked away into the night, we knew that we would never forget the horrors we had endured, but we would also never forget the strength and courage it took to survive. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, but the memories of our encounters with the Derelict Hotel refused to fade. It was as if the darkness that had engulfed us that fateful night had left an indelible mark on our souls, forever altering the course of our lives. Despite our best efforts to move on, we found ourselves drawn back to the hotel time and time again, unable to resist its sinister allure. Each visit brought new revelations, new horrors to uncover, and each time we left, we carried a piece of the hotel's darkness with us. It wasn't long before the toll of our experiences began to take its toll on our group. Sleepless nights turned into restless days, and the lines between reality and nightmare blurred until we could no longer tell the two apart. I watched helplessly as my friends spiraled deeper and deeper into madness, their minds consumed by the horrors they had witnessed. Some turned to drugs and alcohol in a desperate attempt to numb the pain, while others simply withdrew into themselves, their eyes haunted by the ghosts of the past. I tried to reach out to them, to offer them some semblance of comfort in their darkest hours, but it was like trying to hold back the tide with my bare hands. The darkness had taken hold of them, and there was nothing I could do to save them. And then, one by one, they began to disappear. It started with whispers in the night, rumors of strange happenings and mysterious deaths. But soon, those whispers turned to screams, and I knew that the hotel had claimed them as its own. I was the last one left, the sole survivor of our ill-fated adventures. But even now, as I sit here writing these words, I can feel the hotel's pull, its dark presence calling out to me from the depths of my nightmares. I know that one day I too will succumb to the darkness, that I too will become another nameless victim of the Derelict Hotel. But until that day comes, I will continue to tell our story, to warn others of the dangers that lurk in the shadows, waiting to ensnare the unwary in their web of terror. And perhaps, just perhaps, my words will serve as a warning to those who dare to seek out the darkness that lies hidden within the heart of the Derelict Hotel.